Welcoming Don King to this important and historic gathering.
I'm home. I'm home. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to you. Cleveland was the best location in the nation. It's my home, and the leadership now of the great Mayor Frank Jackson. But let me say to you, as a friend and a fellow Clevelander to the nation, 44 years ago, I brought a young man to town here to save a hospital. The hospital was Forest City Hospital, and it was the only hospital in town that would service black people and poor whites. And his name was Muhammad Ali. All right. Today I come to you 44 years later to bring you a great American, American to save the nation in Donald J. Trump. So why would I undertake the task of the awesome responsibility and the distinct honor to present to you our next president of the United States? That's right. It's because he's fearless, he's courageous and brave and bold enough to take on the system. Now, God is good. Every day, every day. And all things are possible with God. They're all not possible with men, but with God, all things are possible. Years ago, a man said that when I always go out with the quote, "Remember Iowa," and a man said that to get a black president, it would be a miracle. His name was William Jefferson Clinton. And I wrote a story in the Call Post that said miracles happen in America. That's right. Come on, John. And we see the word Iowa signaled the first coming of a black president. Several months ago in the campaign, this young man named Donald Trump, he made a speech on the USS Iowa. It's a battleship in Los Angeles. And he said on that battleship that's resonating with the people around the country that he will create, we will create a whole new system. And we will take this system apart. Now, he's the only man in over hundreds of years that has a consensus of public opinion of rejection to the government, to the form of government. Black and white alike united in a consensus of public opinion that says the system is corrupt, the system is rigged, the system is sexist, the system is racist. All right, so now we have heard a lot of rhetoric, and you hear this all the time. It becomes like a great artist on a Stradivarius violin that we hear, and you're going to hear as you come to see that they promise you everything, they give you nothing. You know what I mean? Then they apologize for the unkept promises. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep fighting. We ain't gonna give in. It's business as usual. And enough is enough. We didn't have that. Donald J. Trump, I know his father Fred is smiling now. You know that, you know Fred is looking at you now, you know. The spirit is loud and clear that we will create a whole new system. We will take this system apart and we will make America great again. All right? What does that mean? That means this, and this is why I want people to put themselves and their country and their children before the party. John F. Kennedy said sometimes party loyalty asks too much. This is a coming of a man who has taken on a system that is awesome and geniusly put together, a system of control, the mindset, the behavior, the attitude, the institutions, the law, and then they have the judges in the courts that uphold the law that makes right wrong and wrong right. You know? He undertook that challenge, and from his lips to God's ears, he says, we will create a whole new system. He said, I understand this system, and we will create a whole new system. What has happened? The whole country and the world is in shock. The first when he started out, everybody was laughing. He's a buffoon. He's a reality show. You know what I mean? He's self-sensualizing promoter of himself. Everybody was saying all these different things when he entered the ring to defend America, the principles of freedom, justice, and equality, and to be able to give the government back to the people, we the people. And 14 million votes later, and after beating 17 opponents, we let 16 go because we don't want to be braggadocious. You know? So he now is the nominee. Now you got to understand something. The party doesn't want him. The system doesn't want him. The lying politicians doesn't want him. And you got to understand that he's here by the will of the people. And to God. If God is in all things. All things. So I'm asking. I love you. I love you. And it means so much to me for a man that is walking in the shoes. You know what I mean? When they say what the guy was carrying you, God was carrying you, or no, God was walking with you. They said, but I don't see even one set of footprints. He said, because God was carrying you, you know. And so you got to understand what I'm trying to say to you is that the white woman, and I put it in this category so you understand what I'm saying. The white woman and the slave, the people of color, when the system was created, they did not give her. The first will be last and the last will be first. The white woman did not have the rights, and she still don't have the rights. And people of color don't have their rights. Those are the left outs. Donald Trump says, no, we're going back to inclusiveness. Everybody counts. So that's why when I see them try to ridiculize him or to try to ostracize and pervert, I want you to understand every white woman should cast their vote for Donald Trump, not for Donald Trump the man, but to knock out the system to help him to get their rights, you know, and be able to deal with it. And I'm appealing to all the blacks because their vote is given away cavalierly, lackadaisically, with no redeeming factor, and they have claimed the vote by party that you got to vote this way, you know, and this is what you do, but you have nothing. He is a doctor of humanness. A doctor, how do you cure a disease? When you are a scientist, how do you discover the science of the fact of what you're trying to do in an evolution of time and progress? You examine the facts, the climate. You try to find out what originates, where does it come from? It's just like they're trying to do now with Zika and cancer. You want to find every way that you can to get it. Then you go to the cause. We are treating the effects, not the cause. He is the only man that has took on that awesome responsibility that says why. And when he says why, he had to be able to demonstrate to blacks and the white woman, the two left outs, and all the freedom-loving white men that we must put him in the office so we can get a chance for America to operate on what America was founded in. a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men and women are created equal. So I am indeed very, very proud. I feel honored and privileged that I have this opportunity to speak to you. And I'm telling all of my brothers, I understand they're looking for a position where they could be close to whoever would be the president or what they can do with. It's the system is the enemy, not Donald Trump. And when they come out to castigate, and you can see, they vet him like no other person in the world. You must realize his genius lies in his ability to think and to win and to be successful. All right, so if he's a businessman, you don't vet him like you would do a politician. All right, but they do. They vet him like he's a politician because he takes nothing and made something out of it. Everything that they would condemn that would be looked upon as some type of desecration and economic exploitation, he would just flip the coin and make it a successful occupation. That's the businessman. We want to do the same thing with our country. You know what I mean? We want to do our same thing with our country. I go around the world. I got leaders around the world. Presidents call me like I'm a leader or something because they can say things to me off the cuff that they can't say politically correct. He don't care about no political correctness. He wants right, justified right. And that's why I will walk with him, talk with him, and plead to the people to understand the system is the problem. And he's the only gladiator that will take on the system like the David and the Goliath to be able to throw this system out and create a new system where it encompasses all women, people of color, blacks, and all freedom-loving people coming together to support themselves under the leadership of the dynamic, the human man that will fight for your rights, Donald Trump. This is what we want, and this is what America needs. America needs Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump, especially black people. Because you got to understand, my black brothers and sisters, they told me, you got to try to emulate and imitate the white man, and then you can be successful. So we tried that. So you say, if you can get some money, you can do this here. I told Michael Jackson, I said, if you're poor, you are a poor Negro. I would use the N-word. But if you're rich, you are a rich Negro. If you are intelligent, intellectual, you're an intellectual Negro. If you are dancing and sliding and gliding, Negro, you are dancing and sliding and gliding Negro. So dare not alienate because you cannot assimilate. So, you know, you're going to be a Negro till you die. So when you deal with the reality of what life really means, I learned a lesson from that because I've been on both sides of the area. When I come out the penitentiary, I had a congregation waiting for me similar to this with the leaders of our community asking me to save the hospital. And it does my heart good, my heart reflecting nostalgically. It's a joy to me when we saved Cleveland and being able to let the leaders come from Carl Burton Stokes and all the rest of them that would come up in there to change things in Ohio, the great state of Ohio, to come here today to bring a man that says we're going to change the nation. And I'm honored and privileged, dedicated to the commitment of the principles of this great nation, to introduce to you the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.